Hi, this is John Parrillo, and this is the long-awaited, and I mean people have been telling me to do a video and write a manual on this for at least 20 years. Actually, it's been more like about 21 years or something, ever since our article came out in Muscle Mag in 1990, and we were doing this, and everybody said, what is it? We didn't even have a name for it. First we called it digital fascial manipulation, and then we shortened that to fascial planing. And what it is I'm known for coining the term fascial stretching and defining the term, which is when you get a pump, stretching between your sets, so you stretch the fascia tissue surrounding the muscle, give it more room to grow. Well, we can even do a method that is much more aggressive than that, and that's called fascial planing. And we've literally put 1.5 inches to 2 inches on people's arms in a matter of 1 or 2 sessions. And the problem is it's very painful. If you want to, and I'll right off the bat, I'll say it's not effective until it hurts. And if you want to, and this is this technique we came up with, we're not going to say it's safe or it's unsafe, but we've used it a lot with a lot of competitors, and they've gotten great results with it. If your physical therapist or your doctor says don't do it, then don't do it. Okay, so there's the disclaimer. But we're going to show you the techniques we've used with people. Now the fascia, remember, if we stretch that, that's the sheath over the muscle, and that'll let the muscle expand, you'll be able to, it'll get a lot bigger, and you'll be able to see the separation. Now people, let's say you were a wrestler, or you were in combative sports, you're a football player, if the fascia doesn't just surround the muscle, it protects it. So if that muscle's getting hit a lot, that fascia will get a lot tighter and a lot stronger to protect the muscle, and sometimes, and some people just naturally genetically have a thicker fascia than other people, and that will keep the muscle sometimes from, instead of getting a big peak on your bicep, it'll just be nice and smooth and flat. So how do we, now I recommend you do not do this until you've done a lot of fascial stretching and you stretch the muscle out. If you're still having problems, we can use these techniques called fascial planing. And we're going to use, we got a little guinea pig here. Franco Castelluccio, come in here. Franco, I guess just after he was a teenager, so it's been more than 20 years ago, we actually, he was a competitor and he's won a bunch of shows. He's Mr. Cincinnati, that's the oldest running continuous physique show in the country. And he competes at the Masters level. He's won a bunch of Masters shows. He's won a bunch of contests. He's a real good competitor, but when he came, he was maybe 19, 20, 21 when he first came to us, and he's always had some pretty good muscles on him, but turn around, he had no definition in his go up on your calves. We actually put the split in his calf when he was and got a lot of definition up there when he came to us. So we actually got in there and worked it a few times. We were able to stretch that fascia, and his calves got a lot more separation, and we did a lot of other parts in his body, so that's helped him over the years. Now, if you go through the pain of using the fascial planing to stretch that fascia, keep getting the pump and keep using the fascial stretching if you want that to eventually sink it. Eventually you want to have a take on that. You don't just do it once and then let it shrink back. So you got to keep it stretched out, and eventually that fascia will stretch out. So let me just show you, and this is the introduction to this. We're just going to explain what it is, and we're going to show you just a couple techniques, but we're not going to really do it for real until the next video. But we're going to show you. We'll start like on the bicep. Here's what you're going to need. You're going to definitely need some solution, okay? And here, sit on here and we'll show you how to do the bicep. Now let's say Frank was working biceps. He had a really good pump, okay? And so now we get him towards the end of his workout. Now we want the muscle nice and warm, because when the fascia gets warm, it gets more pliable, it gets more stretchy. And you notice he's got a nice separation down there between the inner head and the outer head of the bicep, or the long head and the short head of the bicep. Okay, so we want to get in here. Now, what we want to do is when this muscle's pumped, remember the fascial stretching would be just, okay, we're pumped and we're stretching this as much as we can. Now we can indent this muscle, so where I'm indenting it, it's stretching that fascia and that part, and then we plane up the muscle, so we take that indentation or that stretch and we move it up the muscle. Now, you start out fairly easily. Some people, or if they come from out of town, they'll want to, okay, just do it, I don't care about the bruising. Some people will bruise easier than others. You don't do it if you got to have a whole lot of fat on you, because that'll just cause a lot of bruising. So, but you want to cause at least pain as possible, so we want to put some lotion on there. What do we do? Can't even figure out how to use the lotion. When I just use this, there we go. So we put some lotion on there, put it on our knuckles, and there's even tools we can use. We'll show you that. We've got a couple pieces of things we use. Now, you want to plane up the muscles. I just push like this and I plane up it. This is pretty slick now. It's going to go, and he's going to go, ow, okay? So we stretch that really good, and somebody would probably be holding his other side back so he couldn't turn. Now notice I'm putting my thumb in here so I can push in, plane, and then I can move up the muscle like that. Isn't that feel good, friend? Remember how this is? Yeah, it's painful. Now, see this split in here? Once I get going, and I'll do like about 12 planes to the muscle, and then I would have him do another set, get a good pump, and then come back and we do it again. I can get in here, I can work up this split, and I can stretch out like this, and this is going to help with that separation between the bicep and tricep, or I mean between the short head and the long head, for it to help his peak out and to see that split in the bicep. So I can plane up this way, I can plane up that. Now, and if I want to work the long head more, of course, the long head crosses the shoulder, so we know we would come up like this. Now that's tighter, see, and I can get in there and I can plane that. But don't just push on there and zip up the muscle. You go nice and slow, and you plane and you move up, and you're letting that fascia stretch as you go up the muscle, okay? So that's fascial planing, and this is just, and then we'll, in future videos, we're going to show, we'll show you a technique, we'll just kind of show you the calf here too, and we're going to show you the different techniques and how to do this, and usually it'll put anywhere from minimum, absolute minimum, probably 1/4 inch up to, we've actually put one pro, we put 2 inches on his biceps in one session. We couldn't get him out of the mirrors. He just did, damn. I mean, they were huge. It was unbelievable. So it just depends on the person, and he had fairly big biceps to begin with. He couldn't get those real big peaks on there. They were big, but they were smooth. So, I mean, you don't take a 14-inch arm, make it a 16-inch arm, but we took about a 20 and a something inch arm and made it. It was way up there. It was unbelievable. Okay, we'll show you here. So if we were going to do the calf, remember we always put our sign. He would really, now the gastrocnemius, he wants to keep the knees straight. So I'd either get him high enough so I could push this way, or I could pull. And this, I can use my other hand as a thing. I can pull up the calf, and I can plane that, and I can stretch it as we go. Now the split in the calf is another thing you can work really good. You can get in here and you can work this out, and a lot of times that'll really help get that split in the calf. See, I'm working that out, so I'm stretching the fascia in here. So you can see, you can kind of push in, and you can feel it work. So you can see a little bit that happened right there. I can actually feel that. I can go in there and feel how, just pushing in right there, how that separated it. Okay, so we can get in there and we can really separate it. So those are some of the techniques we use. That's fascial planing. In the coming weeks, then we're going to show you the techniques and actually work some muscles and show you. You'll notice it'll get nice and big and full. So that's the initial thing, and people have been bugging me, please show us this for 20 years and do a manual. We're going to do a little manual on it, fascial planing. But one of the reasons I didn't, and everybody wants to come in and just, oh, go ahead, just plane me, come on, just do it, when they don't want to go through the work and really stretch the muscle out themselves and do the proper fascial stretching first. So make sure you do that. If that doesn't work, this is the next step you can take. I hope that'll help. Be sure and come and see us at www.parrillo.com. And so we're going to have some fun with these fascial planing videos. Frank's going to learn how to grimace without it looking like it hurts too bad, right? He remembered what this was like. But when he was young, this helped him a lot. And he's a very muscular guy, and I think that's helped him over the years, retain a lot of that separation. But wait, there's more. And Frank reminded me there are one-way valves in the blood vessels, okay? So to keep the bruising to a minimum, and that you always want to push the blood towards the heart. So when I do the bicep, you always push this way, you do not push this way. Calves, you always push up. So you're always pushing you're always planing, so the blood flowing in the muscle is going towards the heart.